I'm Miss Tessa with Valley Dance Ensemble, and today we're going to dance another story. Today's story is called The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. What do you think it would be like to actually be glued to your chair? Let's try. Find a sitting position and let's pretend we have glue on our bottoms and we are stuck to the floor. How might we be able to move and dance if part of us was stuck in one spot? Let's try. We could use our other body parts, our hands, our legs, our arms, our head, our back. But our bottoms won't move. Let's keep moving. What other kinds of shapes and movement could you make while keeping our bottoms stuck? Very good. What if our elbow was the only thing glued to the floor? How can you move while keeping your elbow glued to the floor? Now it's your turn to pick a part. It could be your foot, it could be your forehead, anything you want. But pick a part to glue to the floor and play around with different ways to move. We're experimenting here. Maybe I'll choose my knee. Maybe take a minute to try another part. You can pause the video and try as many body parts being glued to the floor as you like. Now let's see if we could move if two of our body parts were glued together instead of being glued to the floor. I might choose my wrist and my hip. How could I move my body while keeping those parts glued together? Let's pick two more parts. Maybe my ankle to my other ankle. If I can balance. What else might you try? Again, you can pause the video and play for as long as you'd like, experimenting with gluing different body parts to other body parts and seeing how you can move. Now let's see what happens with Vashti. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good, strong jab. There. Take a look at that illustration. You can see in the color how she might be feeling. You can also see in her facial expression and her straight, sharp brows. And also you can just see in the way she's sitting. She's facing away from the paper. Her shoulders are kind of hunched. She doesn't seem very happy, does she? And we can tell by the way she moves. She gives the paper a good strong jab. Let's think of what it looks like to have a jabbing movement. And then let's try and take that feeling that Vashti has right now, that anger and frustration, and turn it into movement. Let's think of the word jab. It might be a sharp. Let's pretend that we have a marker in our hand and we are making that jab on the paper. We are very frustrated. Jab, 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 jab. We can try it a lot of different ways. We might even pretend like the marker's on our foot. How might we jab with our foot? Jab, jab, jab. We can try lots of different ways, but think of that anger and frustration that she might be feeling. I bet that you've felt it before too. I know I have. So let's take it and turn it into movement. She has slumped shoulders, angry facial expression. Do you know even our faces can dance? They're very important in showing what we're trying to express. So let's make an angry face. We might slump our shoulders, and then we're gonna make sharp, angry movements. Keep going. Get all that frustration out. Sometimes it's fun to dance with lots of emotion, even if it's angry emotion. Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Vashti thought for a moment, well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. Sometimes you have to start in a place of the things that you know you can do. She knows she can write her name. Sometimes in dance, there are things that we don't think we can do, but we can start from the things we know we can do. Let's take a movement that you might already know. Maybe it's your favorite dance move when you have a family dance party, or maybe it's something you learned in a class. It could be as simple as a plie. If you know you can do that well, maybe start there. Let's start with a movement we know, and then add maybe something new that we've never done before. Vashti doesn't know that she can draw because she's never really done it. But she takes something like writing her name because she knows she can. So we take our plie and we might add our back. We might add our head. We might add some arms. So start at a place with something that you do well, or that you really like to do, and that you're already comfortable with, and then add on and change it just a little bit. You can pause the video at any time to keep practicing and moving if you're enjoying what you're doing. The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. I know if I saw my dot framed in swirly gold, I'd feel like moving. It made me feel really happy inside and maybe a little excited. So let's make a swirly gold dance. I think of circular movements that might twist around each other. So let's take some space and make some swirling movements. You might have a lot of turning and twisting. You might even have some weaving of your body parts as they swirl around each other. Don't forget to use your back and torso as movement too. Your spine is the very center of your body, and there's a lot you can do with it. So let's try swirling with our back. And twisting. Then we can add the arms. Everything extends from our center. Did you enjoy your swirly gold dance? I can make a better dot than that. She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. That swirly gold frame gave her some confidence and a new idea. Vashti painted and painted. A red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow, she discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting, lots of little dots in many colors. I really like that word, experimenting. She's trying new things, things she's never done before. Let's try that with our bodies. First, we're going to start by making some dots. We might say our red dot is with our wrist. So we're going to make a little dot. We might make a red dot here, a red dot there, and then maybe our knee is blue dot. We're going to make some little dots with our wrist and our knee, making your different colors. Maybe our head is our yellow dot. And we can combine them to make a movement all our own with all of the different dots we're making. Red, blue, yellow. Try different combinations. What other body parts could you use to make dots? After you've played with that a little bit, we can start to mix them. It says she mixed the blue and the yellow. She discovered that she could make green, something completely new. So she made lots of little dots in lots of different colors. So we might change things a little bit. We might add things. We might try it again with something new. Just keep making lots of little dots and see what happens. Now remember, at this point, she's just making little movements and little dots. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Are you ready to try it? We made little dots, little movements, but now how can we make those dots bigger? Try making circular movements all over, using the whole space and your whole body. Keep going, try new things. There are no wrong answers. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. She used the negative space, the space around the shape that she was making. I bet in your dancing space, there may be some furniture or some toys or something else, maybe even a sibling. And you could use their negative space to make new shape and new movement. What I mean by that is the space around something. What could I use in my negative space? This is going to be my dot. I'm going to dance around it, in the space on the outside of it. I might go over and around. Depending on what you're dancing with, you might even be able to go under it. How can you use the negative space in your dancing space? At the school's art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Look at the variation. She has dots going around dots. She has squiggly dots, all colors, all sizes, and negative space too. You can use these pictures as inspiration for your movement dots and see how many ways you can do. You can have all shapes and sizes, smooth, squiggly. Pause the video and take a minute to try lots of different dots. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Let's think about lines for a minute. There are a lot of different lines. There are straight lines, solid lines. There are wavy lines. There are curving lines. There are spiral lines. Let's think how we could travel some different lines using locomotor movement. That means movement that's moving through the space or across the floor to explore different lines. First, I'm going to start with a straight line. I'm going to walk my straight line. I might walk it backwards. I might change direction. There are all different ways. I might go diagonal. Then I'm going to try maybe a wavy line. Again, I can change direction. I can go backwards. Tracing all kinds of different lines. I could even crawl or walk or skip or leap the line. You can move any way you'd like. Now let's try maybe a spiral line. A line that starts in a really big circle and gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Did you try lots of different lines? Well, let's see what happens with this boy's line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Please, sign it." I love that book. And I know that when you try new things, you create new things, things that have never been done before. So pause the video, go try some new things. Remember, you can use all sorts of lines and pathways. You can use big movement and small movement. And you can use your emotion too. What kinds of colors might you be feeling? Sometimes we feel happy and it feels like yellow. So we have warm, bright movement. Sometimes, like Vashti at the beginning of that book, we feel angry and frustrated. So we might reflect that in our movement. Think of an emotion, a pathway, and a size that you want to experiment with and create your own dance. I hope you had fun today.